We're live, baby. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody had a great night's sleep and they're doing fine on this beautiful, what is this, Wednesday morning. Happy hump day. Welcome to the Premarket Prep session for Wednesday, November 22nd, 2023. I'm thankful to be here. Thankful to have you guys here. As always, this is our daily session, right? Every day, we're going over the important stock market news, notes, information, analysis, some trade ideas, some trade nuggets, salt bait on there. And this, being for the purpose of getting 1% better, right? Making sure that you are apprised of the background information necessary, and the lay of the land necessary to take advantage of the many opportunities that the market has to offer. Right, the market offers up tons of different opportunities. Yesterday, it was in the form of Tesla again, as it has been 4 times now over the past 6 sessions, 6 market sessions. So you always want to make sure that you're in a place where your mindset is being honed to perceive the opportunities that come across your desk each and every day, right? Because we all come across a ton of opportunities, or a ton of opportunities come across us. But if we're not aware of them, then we can't leverage them. And that's exactly what you want to do: is have the tools and the mindset necessary to not only be aware of the opportunities, but to leverage those opportunities. You don't just want to say, hey, there's this way that you can make money. Oh, have you started making money yet? No. What does that information do for you? Not a whole lot, right? So you want to make sure that you don't just have the information, you have the application. Wisdom is completely different from knowledge, right? Knowledge is just the presence of information, but wisdom is the application of that knowledge, right? The application of that information. So we don't just want to be gathering it, we want to be applying it. And that all is what we do here each and every morning during this session. So welcome to the Pre-Market Prep. Vivian, Michelle, Benjamin, good morning to everybody. Thankful to have you guys here. Super thankful for each and every person that's a part of, this community and continues to make us better and better. And I'm going to dive going on today, which will likely end up being rather light, just given the fact that it's a holiday week. So in terms of our top news here, gobble, gobble. Let's see. Traders are looking forward to turkey and trimmings, but there's one more session before they fully shut off screens for Thanksgiving. Markets will be open again on Black Friday from 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but the holiday shortened week is typically characterized by some of the lowest trading volumes of the year, which we're already aware of, right? Which is beautiful. Investors have a lot to be thankful for in 2023, provided they have invested wisely, with market benchmarks like the S&P 500 and NASDAQ up 19% and 37% year to date, respectively. At the register, average turkey prices cost 5.6% less than last year, according to the Farm Bureau, coming in at $27.35 for a 16-pound turkey. That's not all. Cranberries are down 18.3%. Stuffing mix costs 2.8% less. Pie crust 4.9% lower, while prices on whipped cream have slumped 22.8%. Other items have increased marginally, like dinner rolls, potatoes, and pumpkin pie mix. Overall, the average price of a traditional Thanksgiving feast for 10 people in 2023 runs $61.17, or less than $6.20 per person, down 4.5% from a year ago. So this is stuff, right? Not running our pockets as much when we head to the grocery store. Table gas prices have declined for 9 straight prices in seasonal weakening demand, with the national average for a gallon of regular gas standing at $3.28 on Wednesday, according to AAA. Lower prices are helping lead to a travel resurgence on highways and in the air, with 55.4 million Americans traveling at least 50 miles from home between today and Sunday and after Thanksgiving. The TSA is also anticipating the busiest holiday travel season on record, expecting to screen 30 million passengers during the Thanksgiving travel period, which is November 17th through 27th, marking a 9% increase year over year and up 1.7 million passengers over pre-COVID record levels. Pretty crazy. Some history: the first Thanksgiving between the Mayflower Pilgrims who founded the Plymouth colony in Massachusetts and the Wampanoag tribe is said to have taken place in 1621. Thanksgiving proclamations were made in subsequent years, and in 1789, George Washington declared November 26th as a day of public Thanksgiving in prayer to be observed by acknowledging with grateful hearts and many signal favors of Almighty God. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to give you a history lesson on Thanksgiving. You could tell it's obviously probably a slow news day if that's what we're diving into here in relation to the stock market. So I'm going to move on to what we actually care about, which is NVIDIA's earnings. Oh, looks like we got some notifications going off here. Can we get the switch? Okay. What was that? What do we have happening? Ah, yes, coin pushing. There we go. I wonder if we'll hear anything about that here today, considering that we have, um, CZ, Binance's former CEO. Oh, that's not in here. Wow. Oh, that's at the end. That's disrespectful. That was a pretty big story, bigger than the history of Thanksgiving. What the heck? Nobody cares about George Washington. That guy had freaking, lead in his fillings were part wood, part lead. So this guy literally had lead in his head. And we're worried about what he had to say over what's going on with the Binance CEO resigning and getting off relatively, with not too bad of a fine. Anyways, newsletter. But I do choose with what discretion we go through it. And we got more notifications. Oh yeah, we got coin really pushing here. Pre-market. Go ahead, keep it up, coin, do your thing. In terms of tech news, getting back to Nvidia's earnings, Nvidia shares fell 1.7% after hours to $490.75 per share on Tuesday, even as the semiconductor giant guidance that handily beat expectations. I want to hammer this home. You can beat on the top line and on the bottom line, and the stock still go down. You correctly predicting the outcome of a company's earnings has no bearing on how that stock moves, right? 0% bearing on how that stock moves. And I really want to hammer that home because yes, is it fun to play earnings sometimes? Yeah, sure. But again, never play earnings with money you wouldn't flush down the toilet. There's no reason to. There's no reason to because again, this company is on the forefront of the most transformative technology we have seen since before I was alive, and they beat on the top and bottom line, and the stock still fell, right? So there is like no bigger example of the risk of earnings season like this, right? And the thing is, it only fell 1.7%. The expected move was like 8% in either direction. So even if you got puts, you got crushed, right? You got IV crushed. All that is super important to realize as you go about possibly playing earnings. And this earnings season has definitely been the season of the IV crush. We've barely had any big moves that happened like after hours for earnings, right? Maybe you opened up and we sold more, we opened up and we went higher, but overall, very disappointing when it comes to the magnitude of the moves that have occurred over the course of this earnings season. So let's see, revenue more than tripled from a year ago. So Nvidia, that is crazy. Their revenue more than tripled from a year ago to 18.12 billion, surging past estimates with data center revenue at a record 14.51 billion. While there was no meaningful impact from the Biden administration's export controls in Q3, Nvidia expects sales in China to decline significantly in Q4. We do not have good visibility into the magnitude of that impact even over the long term, CFO Colette Kress cautioned. While CFA analyst Bill Maurer believes NVIDIA's valuation is still reasonable, investing group leader Jonathan Weber said waiting for a better entry point might pay off. It's such a scapegoat answer. Waiting for a better entry point might pay off. Thanks for your deep insight, Jonathan. As we talk about kind of NVIDIA in Q4, that might have been something that also influenced it, right? Because again, we think about earnings reports like the report card, the report card for a company. And if you say, hey, I got an A for, this quarter, but I don't know if I'm going to pass the class, right? Or I might get a D next quarter. Your parents don't care as much about you getting an A this quarter, right? They're like, wait, but what about next quarter? Because now has already technically become the past. The future is the only thing we care about. That's the now that's yet to be materialized. So, that could also be a reason why Nvidia fell despite the positive numbers is that they haven't felt the impact of the U.S. curbing those chip exports to China yet. And, that can be material impact, which their CFO is saying. So, there's no downside to stating that now, which I think is smart, to be honest, because if I, expect, oh, we might not have as good a number, either we have better numbers than we expect and I set the bar low, so we go over them, which is a positive, or we don't have that good of numbers and I already told you while I was delivering good news, right? So this was the best move that NVIDIA could have made, just to lower expectations for Q4. Because again, if they do something crazy, like, oh, I don't know, tripling their freaking revenue, that could be something that actually does send them flying. Now, in terms of AI news, he's back. Sam Altman is returning to OpenAI as CEO after a drama-filled week that saw him jump ship to Microsoft and may include more surprises. OpenAI's new initial board will feature former Salesforce co-CEO Brett Taylor as chairman, ex-Treasury Secretary Larry Summers, and Quora CEO Adam D'Angelo. Quote, when I decided to join Microsoft, it was clear that was the best path for me and the team, said Altman. With the new board and with Satya Nadella's support, I'm looking forward to returning to OpenAI and building on our partnership with Microsoft. Most of OpenAI staff threatened to quit after Altman was ousted in what Wedbush called an embarrassing circus show. It definitely was. While seeking alpha analyst Michael Fitzsimmons said OpenAI was hoisted by its own petard. So yeah, I mean, roller coaster is the understatement. This just got downright ratchet. You had Sam Altman was ousted by the board. Microsoft picks him up. Then we had 70% of like the employees or 75% of the employees at OpenAI said that they would leave if the board didn't resign. And more than half of them said that they would just go work at Microsoft. So it was looking like something where Microsoft was just going to pillage and poach all of the talent from the company that they had invested billions of dollars in. And that didn't end up being the case with Altman returning. But you also had, an open letter that Elon Musk tweeted out yesterday on X, where he talked about the toxic work environment, how Sam Altman and the other founder, whatever his name is, about how they maintain a toxic work environment, XYZ, all this other stuff. And of course, Musk isn't. It's not like he doesn't have any ulterior motives. Musk was with OpenAI, had a falling out with Sam Altman. Apparently, Sam Altman is still bent out of shape about it. Musk is still bent out of shape about it. So they both do whatever they can to kind of slander the other. So it was just all this stuff going on, sludge flying. And then we finally get maybe a conclusion to it today. Who knows? But as of right now, it looks like OpenAI, they tried to fight a battle that they could not win. Worth it winning. Who cares if you're the board over a company and the company's no. They got a new board. They got Sam Altman back. We'll see if everything goes back. But this was a pretty crazy saga that just shows you that everything is not a-okay right now, in the land of AI, which honestly probably just furthers, AI's conclusion to eventually phase humans out of the governance of their own safety, considering the fact that, they can't even effectively govern themselves and haven't been able to do so throughout history. So, you're right. It's like arguing in front of the kids. You don't want to argue in front of the kids, especially the kid is like a all-knowing artificial intelligence. Um, let's see here what else we have happening. So in terms of economic news, quote, proceed carefully. All Federal Reserve officials agreed to proceed carefully with interest rates according to the minutes from the FOMC's latest policy meeting. All members wanted rates to stay restrictive for some time as inflation remains above the 2% objective, with virtually no interest in cutting rates anytime soon. Fed officials also see Q4 economic growth cooling markedly from 4.9%, which is the jump we saw in Q3. At the October 31st through November 1st meeting, policymakers held the federal funds target range steady at 5.25 to 5.5%, the highest level in 22 years, after boosting it in July. Traders are largely certain that the Fed will maintain rates this year, with the odds of a rate cut priced in for 2024. Now, in terms of, let's see here, today's markets in Asia, Japan were up 0.3%, Hong Kong flat, China down 0.8, India up 0.1. London were down 0.1, Paris up 0.4, Frankfurt up 0.4, the Dow flat, S&P up 0.1, NASDAQ up 0.3. Crude oil down 1.2%, gold down up 0.1%, Bitcoin down 2%. Don't know if that's still the same case here since we have coin pushing up. In terms of today's economic calendar, we got initial jobless claims at 8:30 a.m. We'll see how is the market reacting to those. Dun, 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 dun. Looks like the market likes it thus far, right? SPY pushing, testing the hourly high from a few days ago. So, SPY can get above that 455.13 and hold above that. It can push. Again, this is the day before Thanksgiving. Do we get meaningful volume? Not likely, right? Can we push? Yes. Just make sure that you're sized appropriately because we could also get fake outs, right? Considering the fact that we don't have a whole lot of volume here today. So we could get that close above and then end up getting back beneath because we didn't have the volume necessary to hold it above. So that's just something that you want to be aware of, right? On weeks like this week. And that way you don't get your feelings hurt expecting one thing and then having another thing happening. Now we're going to finish up here with our rapid fire bullet point stock news rundown. Wall Street breakfast survey results, honesty, integrity, top qualities, honesty and integrity, top qualities for CEOs. Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao, also known as CZ, steps down and pleads guilty. A lot of people were saying that this was a positive thing for crypto because I think Binance got fined like a few $1 billion, and then CZ got fined like $50 million, which kind of equates to a slap on the wrist. And also, these are kind of the last hurdles in between, the SEC kind of, I guess, ratifying this Bitcoin ETF. Who knows if this is just hearsay or if this is facts, but this is being spun, at least in the crypto community, as a positive thing. So we'll see if this ends up being a positive thing, right? That can help fuel Bitcoin's continued rally, and also keep our eyes on stocks like Coinbase, Mara, right? In terms of lows, here, Lowe's stock slides as do-it-yourself demand fades. China gives conditional nod for Broadcom VMware deal. Ford, ticker F, scales back EV battery plant and restarts construction. PE firms near 14 billion euro deal for eBay-backed Adevinta. Warren Buffett donates 2.4 million Berkshire shares to charities. Best Buy cuts holiday quarter outlook on uneven demand. Tim Cook discusses Apple's detailed succession plans. Existing home sales decline more than expected in October, and then Judge sets deadline for Rite Aid reorganization. So that's all that we have going on for today. As you guys know, we're going into Black Friday. We don't always do a sale. Didn't do one last year, but this year, right, for anyone that needs to be out here making their money work for them in markets, tell them to head to adamhollandeducates.com and use trade at checkout. It's going to be our biggest sale ever. I don't know how it's going to be up, right? But this is that time where you could use this, this sales season to bless yourself, really invest into yourself and invest into your future. And if you know anybody that sounds like that could be good for them, make sure you send them one over. So again, that's trade. Use code trade at checkout. You get a fat discount. I won't say how much it is. You can go type it in to see for yourself. But like I said, if you're willing to help yourself, I'm willing to meet you halfway. Let's do it. For everybody that's starting with us, I'm excited to have you along for the ride. And for everybody that's here, the roller coaster keeps going up. So happy Thanksgiving, right? I hope you have an amazing day tomorrow. The market is closed. I won't be here. We got a half day on Friday. We'll see. Most likely no pre-market prep. But keep on the lookout, watch the story. Other than that, everybody, I'm thankful for all you guys here. I would not trade any one person that's here for anyone else in the world, right? Our continued and shared goals are something that I see only pushing us higher, only pushing us farther. I'm honored to do it with you guys. So I'm very, very thankful for this community. And I'll see you most likely next week, right? Don't eat too much turkey. Have a great and safe weekend, safe travels. See you later. Peace.